to me. So you're like, I can't see God, but God is using the hermano or the hermana to speak, okay? So today I want to talk to you guys about living waters. Does anyone have a water bottle with them? No one has a water bottle? That's a pomegranate juice. You have a water bottle? You want to bring it up here? Yeah. So I want to make some points today. Hopefully we go understanding what God means by living waters. Thank you very much. So what is this? So if I want to drink it, what do I do?
You open it.
I open the water and I drink it, right? You're probably like, hermana, why are you making a big deal about water? Today, when you leave from this clase, you're going to look at water a little bit differently, okay? That's what I pray that you guys do see, okay? So, water, right? What about this water? How many of you guys know that without water, the human body can't survive that much, right? We need water. So when you guys are playing outside, playing a sport, what do the coaches or the people at school tell you to bring? Water. They're like, bring agua because you're going to get thirsty and you're going to be dehydrated. If you're in football, they drink Gatorade too, huh? But scientifically, biologically, water is the most efficient. It's the best for you. So water is really, really important, okay? Thank you for bringing your water. So why am I talking to you guys about this? Because today we're going to talk about living water. Not the water bottle of the sister we see here, but a different type of water. It's water that's alive. You're going to be like, sister, what? But we're going to figure this out today. Another question is, how many of you guys know the prophet Jeremiah? 1, 2. Okay, so who was 3, 4? Okay, let's get it. Who was Jeremiah? What was he known to do? Anyone know anything about it? A quick fact about Jeremiah. We do like a bio, an Insta bio for him. The prophet Jeremiah. What would we say about Jeremiah? Yes? Lo llamaron el profeta llorón. That's very true. A weeping. I was literally about to say that. He is a weeping prophet. You guys know what that means? As a prophet, the Bible says he was known for crying a lot. He used to cry for the people of Israel because of their behavior. He would cry so much. So I'm going to move real quickly to the first slide. Okay? Who was Jeremiah? Jeremiah was a prophet. And a prophet is a spokesman, someone who speaks for God or represents God. He would speak the word for God and to the people of Israel, the people of God. But during this time frame, when Jeremiah was a prophet, the people were so rebellious. They were so rebellious. They misbehaved. They forgot God. They treated God like nothing. They had forgotten God. And Jeremiah was known for weeping for the people, saying, come back to God. Come back to God. And this is one of the verses that he mentioned to us. He wrote. Does anyone want to volunteer to read it? Here you go, Winnie. You can say this, Brent.
My people have committed two sins. They have forsaken me, the spring of living water, and have dug their own cisterns, broken cisterns that cannot hold. Jeremiah 2:13.
Amen. So we read this here, right? It says, my people have committed two sins. It says, what? They have forsaken me, the spring of living water, and have dug their own cisterns and broken cisterns, right? Do not hold water. So what is a fountain of living waters? What is a fountain of spring of water? Does anyone know that scientifically? Like, what is a spring of water? Yes? Sort of. Anyone have any more suggestions? Yes? A water that never ends? Okay, we're going there. It's not a bridge. It's a natural spring that comes from earth that gives water. Like a waterfall. What is a fountain? It's okay. It's a natural spring of water, and it's look at the picture. nature. How many of you guys have seen a waterfall? You gone hiking or you touched the water before? It's really nice. Have you guys ever swam in un rio? Or like, yeah? Those are the good days. Summer's coming where you get into the rio. It's really fun. It's fun. I love doing it. Even though I can't swim, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, okay? So this is really nice. It's a waterfall. It's beautiful. If you're in the summer and it's hot, it's perfect to drink water, to swim, to play with your friends. It's a good time. This spring doesn't come from a man who made this, but it came from earth, right? So God created earth, and a natural spring comes from the earth itself, right? It's created by earth. It's part of nature, right? So why is this important? Because a spring of water is good water, right? Would you drink from this water? Did you guys know? Is it your water? Oh, okay, thank you. So this water comes from the mountains, from a spring. They go up there, they bring the water, they bring it down here, and they filter the water, make sure to clean it, and we get it in water bottles. We put it into water bottles. So this is the water we drink. This is coming from a natural spring. So this is really important because this is how you're going to understand the message today. But does anyone know what a cistern is? A cisterna. No? I didn't know either till like I Googled it, but it's okay. You want to guess? Un pozo. Okay, that's really good. That's actually, you hit the spot. It is a pozo, but what about a cistern? We're going to see right now, okay? This is kind of what a cistern looks like. Okay, now be honest. Would you drink from this water? No, not really. I wouldn't even swim in it. I wouldn't even I'm like, I'm gonna walk by. It's okay. A broken cistern. So Jeremiah, the weeping prophet, said, they forgot the fountain of living water and they have run to broken cisterns. A cistern is a large well, como dijo hermanito Willie, like a well, right? Un pozo or pool carved in a rock. And a broken cistern has sprung a little leak and it can't hold any water. So how many of you guys have ever been inside an inflatable pool? Right? So when I was little, in my inflatable pool, I was younger and I waited till 6 a.m. to inflate the pool, and then I went, and then me and my siblings, we put water, and we were up at 6 a.m. trying to swim in a pool. And my dad's laughing. We were annoying my dad that day. We're like, we gotta swim in the pool. So we did it. Pero mira lo que pasó. In the pool, the little inflatable pool, you put air, you pump air into it, there was a hole. So then we noticed that the water just it was like, why is it keep going down? Like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? And it's like 3 little bodies there, like, what's happening? And we realized there was a leak in the pool. So what happens if we just kept being there? What would happen to all the water? It slowly starts to leave the pool through the little hole, right? One leak, and then the water slips through, and it's not stable to hold water, right? So why is this important? Because a natural spring from the earth is literally like a waterfall. It's beautiful. It's like never ending. It's beautiful, right? And it looks clean. It looks good, right? But this cistern, it's made out of man. They make a hole. They make it out of rock, and they try to make it look like a feel of a waterfall. But does it look like one? No, I wouldn't even drink the water. Who would even smell it, right? So Israel, the people of Israel, they had long dry seasons with only a little bit of natural springs of water. So catching rain in the cisterns was very important. So this is what they would do. So during the time of rain, they would break these cisterns, and then they would say, the rain is coming, the rain is coming. And then when the rain would be coming, they would make sure that the cistern was open, so then the cistern would collect all the water. So when the rain stops, they had a whole collective, a well of water. So when the rain would leave and they had to drink water, they would go to that little cistern. But what would happen if there was a hole or a leak? All their water supply would leave. They wouldn't have enough water. Okay? So a fresh water from a natural spring was very valuable back then. But I want to analyze two sins that the people of Israel did. Okay? Sin number 1. It says here, they have forsaken me, the spring of living water. What does it mean to forsaken? Yeah, the answer's up there, guys. So basically to renounce, in other words, to forget. So the Lord was like, Israel forgot me. I'm this beautiful spring of living waters, and they have forgotten me. They have left me alone. They have left me and ran away. And guess what the people of Israel ran to? We're going to see right now. But the Lord was describing himself as a beautiful natural spring of water. He was saying, I'm this natural spring of water. Why is the people of Israel running to these little nasty little cisterns that can't hold enough water? This is why. So, do you guys see that picture over there? I just want everyone to look at the picture. So, let's be real. Does it look creepy? A little creepy? No? Okay, I was like, God, help me pick an okay picture, not anything. So, on Google, I found this, right? So it's carved images, idols. So back then in history, you're gonna learn this. So heads up. So in history, you're gonna learn that back then, the people of Israel, a lot of different beliefs, they would carve idols. So they would get clay, they would get wood, they would get metals, and then they would start to carve with their hands an idol and make it look like a little statue, a bird. Yes? Yes, you can. So, like basically an image. And he said they would make it with arms. You guys see the little arms? You can't really tell from the picture, but they have eyes too. They have noses, the mouth. You can't really see from the blur of the projector. But you see these idols, they're carved, right? But let's read what Psalms 115, 5 through 8 says. They have mouths. This is what God was saying. They have mouths, but they can't speak. They have eyes, but they cannot see. They have ears, but cannot hear. They have noses, but they can't smell. They have hands, but cannot feel. And feet, but they cannot walk. And they have throats, but they cannot make a sound. And those who make idols are just like them, are all those who trust in idols. So what's one thing about an idol? They have eyes, but they can't see. This is what the Lord was literally being straight up. He's like, these idols, they have eyes, carved eyes, but they cannot see you. They have hands carved into them like this, but they cannot hold you or help you. They have noses, but they cannot smell. They have ears, but they cannot hear your prayers. They have a body, but they can't do anything to heal your body. They can't do anything. Though they have eyes and ears and nose and feet and legs, they cannot help you. They're worthless. So here the Lord was saying to them, why do you run to these idols? If you run to them, you're just like them. It's worthless to run to these. It's worthless to run to these. Imagine if I started coming talking to a statue. You saw me randomly in a plaza of a mall. You saw that. By the way, my name is Ruth. It's my name is Ruth, by the way. So, if you saw me at a plaza at a mall, and I was talking to a statue at the mall or something, a mannequin from the mall, would you think I'm kind of crazy? Yeah, me too. So, if I was talking to a statue or a mannequin, you'd be like, "Man, are you okay? Like, is something? Are you okay?" In the same way, God is telling the people of Israel, are you okay? Why are you praying to these idols? They can't do anything. It's like, this is why we believe as believers of Jesus, why do we not pray to the cross? Why do we not pray to Mary or to idols? They cannot help us. They're carved images. Man made them. Okay? Next slide. So we see here at the bottom picture is that the people of Israel began to start to pray to these little idols. So what was the second sin that they committed? The first sin was that they forgot the living waters, who was the Lord. The second sin is this. They dug their own cisterns. They made their own cisterns with their own hands, but broken cisterns. Do you guys notice about this cistern as well? What does it have on it? Huh? It has a lot of cracks, barely any water. So we're seeing here, this is the condition of the cisterns. God was saying, why are you running and making these broken cisterns? They're not going to be able to help you. It's broken, it leaks. You cannot drink from this water. Yes? Yeah, so they basically do not work and they're not useful. So why is this important? Would you want to drink from this water?
Nope.
None of us, right? Yes? Yeah, if your water is dirty and contaminated, it could make you really sick. There's water systems that if you don't clean your water and it's not filtered right, you could get sick. Okay? So that is a point. A broken or cracked cistern can maybe hold a little bit of water. But you guys see that jar? Look at how many cracks it has. Is the water staying in the jar or is it coming out?
Coming out.
It's coming out, right? So real quick, on the next slide. You're probably like, Hermana, I would never drink from that broken cistern. Why would I drink from there? But many of the times, spiritually, we run to broken cisterns. They may not look like these, but they look like this. Without knowing, many times we run to broken cisterns. What do you guys see up there? Netflix. 5 horas on Netflix watching who knows what kind of shows, without even monitoring so many things on their Netflix. You spend 5 to 6 hours on Netflix. You spend maybe 2 hours on Instagram posting selfies, thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get attention. I'm just being straight up, okay? Maybe at Facebook, if someone wants to be on Facebook. So you go on these social media thinking it's gonna fill you, right? So you're like, oh wow, I have 50 friends, I feel cool. You know, or I have 1,000 followers. I'm like a social, what do you call it, content? Social media creator, content. There you go, content creator. You think you're, your eyes do turn red if you're on your phone too much, by the way. That is a true fact. So what's else on here is like your phone. Listen, by the grace of Jesus Christ, my phone is still intact. But I thought it was really funny that you're gonna see right now. Hold on, give me a second. Get this phone. Okay, I need a volunteer. Esther? Okay. I want you to hold my phone because like you can't really see. Is there cracks on here? How many cracks? Is it really bad? How many cracks? I'm just like, I don't know. Okay, can you hold the phone? Hold it to people. Okay. So in my phone, so up there you see literally a phone, right? So in my phone, you guys see, you can see those from our front. You can see there's so many cracks. Like even down here, there's some cracks up here. It's pretty bad. But you see my camera? It's still intact. So what am I trying to say? Thank you, Esther. Is that a phone is like a broken, cracked cistern. Literally, my phone is cracked, and that's how it sees. That's how it is in the spiritual. When you go on your phone for hours, you're running to a broken cistern with dirty water. You are running to it. You think that 5 hours scrolling on TikTok, watching funny videos and memes will satisfy you and make you feel whole. And then we have at the bottom, we have people partying, and maybe not yet, or maybe you're seeing it at school, or you've been invited, or you will be invited at some point. Partying and all of this is real. People run to these things, and they run to being popular. I have the most friends, I'm part of this group, I'm part of this clique. And because of these things, they think they know what they're doing, they think they're good, they think they're better than people, and they think they are filled in their hearts, they feel satisfied. But we're going to understand every single one of these cisterns, Instagram, Facebook, social media, TikTok, going to parties, and all these things, doing these bad things, going on these things, are broken cisterns that will not give you any satisfaction. Here's more. So we are familiar with Lil Nas. If you guys are not, that's okay. But these are some musical artists that are very popular. I had to do some research, because I kind of live under a rock a little bit. But I'm like, God, help me with their age range. So I bet Lil Nas is reaching a lot of your generation, you younger people. Lil Nas is a rapper influencing homosexuality, gay marriage, and I'm speaking these things because these are true. You're like, hermana, whoa, you're passing the line. No, I'm just being real with you guys. These are things you see in school. It's okay. Where you see these things, okay? These are K-pop artists. Even they're influencing little kids too. So this is why I'm putting this up there. K-pop artists are singing, and like they want to be like them, look like them. They try to dress like them. They're obsessed with the K-pop artists, and they run to these music media, and like, are they good influences? No. What are they singing about? Let me ask you something. If someone is not worshiping God or praising God, who are they worshiping then? The devil himself, right? If a song is not worshiping or exalting God, pero hermana, this music is about love. Oh, but hermana, this song is about like a girlfriend, a boyfriend breaking up, and it's a sad song, and I feel it, I'm feeling it. Or hermana, this song is about like, oh, it's about a happy day, or it's about an encounter, or something like this and that, or it's about something funny, you know? But if it's not praising God, who was that song for? It's meant to praise the enemy. It's either you're with the God or with the enemy. It's two things. You can't be in between. And I say that because the Bible says you cannot be. He's like, I'd rather have you be hot, water, or cold. Hot or cold, my bad, sorry. Hot or cold. Because if you're lukewarm, what is lukewarm? It's when the agua es kinda medio caliente, medio frío, medio caliente, medio frío. In that same way, God's like, I'd rather have you have you be cold or you be hot. I don't want you to be, one day I'm in church and I'm like, I look like I'm a church girl, church boy, and then the next day at school I'm there cussing at everyone, being the most bad, rebellious, and making it havoc for my parents. We're living a two-double life. You can't trick God. He sees everything. You know, he's like, you're either a friend of God or an enemy of God. You're either in the world or you serve God. And then like, hermana, but that sounds hard. It's the truth. The word of God says it, okay? Yeah. In a way, it does make sense what you're saying, sister. So this is what I want to say. Listen up. La música que tú escuchas influences your spirit. So if you're listening to songs of depression, you're hearing songs of anger, you're hearing songs about guns and gangs, it's going to influence you to want to do those things. Be like, hermana, I don't see that though, but it does, into your spirit. When you hear music like that, it goes into your spirit and it starts to influence you to do things that you shouldn't do. Okay? Yes? When we listen to the music of the Lord, when we worship God, it brings peace and it brings joy. So another thing that I want to point out is, what do you guys see up there, that green stuff? I know that when I brought this, I was like, God, I know that some of them may be in middle school, heading to high school, but you are going to encounter, and I'd rather be that hermana that tells you about this, the word weed, okay? Weed is a type of drug that is influencing that people smoke, that they might offer you in school, and you might see it, right? It's marijuana, it's called marijuana, and they offer it to you, and they might come to you and say, hey, you know, smoke this, or hey, try this out. And this is where you have to say and make a decision, will I try this or not? And this is where you make the decision, I'm a child of God, I shouldn't do this. And I'm going to share my testimony at the end a little bit. You're going to be surprised where I came from. Now, let's hear it, okay? Another thing is you see a skeleton. Why? Because some people pray to the devil. Some people do witchcraft at school. They try to influence you to pray to rocks. Or to, what's your horoscope? Are you a Leo? Are you a Scorpio? These things are really coming out in school right now. Give me a second. So they're coming out in school, and it's the reason why I want to talk about these things is because you're going to encounter them. People are going to be like, so what's your horoscope? Can I read your card? This and that. And when you hear those things, remember what Hermana would say, stay away from anyone who tries to practice New Age religion or any of those things, okay? And I know that some of you guys might actually know what I'm talking about because they might have offered it to you. Another thing is relationships. People run to broken cisterns. They try to and un novio, una novia, they think that that will fulfill them. Or drinking, and all these things will not fulfill your life, okay? All these idols are broken cisterns. How much time do you spend on your phone? What music are you listening to? What type of friends do you have? Are you running to these things like weed, alcohol, or maybe anything on social media to satisfy the thirst in your heart? What are you running to satisfy the thirst of your soul? Right? What do you guys see in this picture? He's pouring out a jar of water. This thirst I'm talking to you guys is not a literal thirst, but for physical water, but a spiritual thirst in your soul. There is an emptiness in your heart, and we can try to fill it with many things to satisfy you, but nothing will satisfy you like Jesus Christ. You can run to all these things, but they will never truly satisfy you till you run to Jesus. Until you run to Jesus. And I want to show you guys a woman who tried that. How many of you guys have heard the story of the Samaritan woman? Me? So? Okay. So, the Samaritan woman. You guys see her? She's at a well, right? Let's see what this story's about. Who wants to read this? You want to come up here and read it up here? Here you go, sister.
Job well was there, and Jesus, tried as he was from the journey, sat down by the well. It was about noon.
Thank you very much. So it says Jacob's well was there, so Jesus sat at a well. He was tired from the journey. It says he sat down by the well, and it was about noon. So it was a little later than right now. And it was hot, he was tired. But Jesus had just come from walking on a long journey. Back then, did they have cars? Did they have bikes? They walked con las sandalias, okay? They walked with sandalias. They didn't use the Jordans, the Nikes, the cute shoes. No, it was puro sandalias. So when a Samaritan woman came to draw water, Jesus said to her, "Will you give me a drink?" His disciples had gone to the town to actually buy some food. But the Samaritan woman said to him, "You're a Jew and I'm a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink?" Because Jews and Samaritans, they didn't get along. They kind of had a little bit of beef between each other. They weren't allowed to connect or be close to each other. The Jewish people did not get along with the Samaritans. So a Samaritan was a type, they were different from the Jewish. They believed that they should worship in the mountains, and then the Jewish people believed they should worship in Jerusalem, in the temple. So they had one disagreement, and because of that, when they saw each other, they were petty about it. They're like, "I can't help you, I don't want to be near you, don't come near our town." The Jewish would purposely skip the Samaritan town where they lived because they're like, "We don't want to see each other." So basically, the Jews and the Samaritans didn't get along. And Jesus, being a Jew, told this Samaritan woman, "Hey, you, give me a drink of water."